Splash Mag with Rohan Marley. How you doing?
Good, man. Really, very well. I'm back here in Berlin. Much warmer this time around.
All the way from Trenchtown, Jamaica. Rohan Marley, come on!
Yeah, this is my identity.
It is mentioned of in the Bible that there shall be a music that all people shall play and dance and sing with. What other music could that be? Reggae.
I was the one that he would call to get women out of his dressing room. I became his guardian angel.
All your parents do is smoke weed and play music. Nobody wanted their children around us.
You're here to promote a film about your father. And I was asking myself, when people approached you, the family, with the idea of this movie, how did you react in the first case, on the first situation? Yeah.
Well, first we wanted to make sure that we have the right people that really understand what my father means to not just his life, but to the life of many others, you know. So it had to be someone that can really translate that message and get that message across to the people, where it's really show my father as a human being, you know, because he's a human being first, you know, and really to translate his message, his ideals and his principles, you know. So Kevin MacDonald, when he came on board, I mean, watching what he did with The Last King of Scotland and kind of getting an idea of who he is and his father, you know, his history, he's also very, very important in the work that he does. So, I mean, you don't want to put a notch on his belt by doing the Marley film properly, you know. So, I mean, because, you know, we've been waiting for years to do something like this, and it's a documentary still. It's not really a film, it's a documentary, but we call it a film because it's the first one that we have done, and everyone has been talking about doing a Marley movie forever, and we finally had a chance to do a documentary for the big screen, so we're quite happy with what Kevin MacDonald has done.
Him come from such a humble beginning. My father would always take us back to Trenchtown.
Would never lock his car up. That is like saying you don't trust people.
The most important thing culturally that was happening in Jamaica at that time was Bob Marley exploding onto the world stage.
There was that sense that he's about to be massive.
So have you controlled what he was doing, or did you trust him from the first second of this creation process?
Well, it was a matter of control or trust, because he worked alongside my brother Ziggy, and Ziggy is a very instrumental part of this. You know, he's also a producer on the film, and Sadella worked alongside as well. So it wasn't really about trust; it's just really about working together and getting it and accomplishing what we really wanted to accomplish. So we trust each other, you know.
Okay, so and how did you reach out to all those very different persons, artists? Was it very easy, or did you have to talk to them to bring the share to the movie?
Well, you know, I wasn't so much involved in the talking about it, but I know it was in the works for a long time. We were working with someone else prior, before Kevin came on board. And, you know, Kevin it just happened spiritually. I mean, he was in Uganda, and he kept on seeing a lot of images of my father there, and it just awakened something in him as well. So, and then Ziggy was, you know, so it was really more of like the right timing, you know. I'm not sure how I'm not sure how Ziggy brought it together, but Ziggy's the man that really was instrumental in really saying, yeah, Kevin, you're the man, you know.
So I read, or when I saw the movie just a few hours ago, there were a lot of moving situations and moving scenes. So was there anything which moved you especially?
Yeah, man, the first part of the movie, cause the intro moved me, you know, because when you get to understand where your father come from and what he went through to really be who he is, and you know the work that he did, and what he meant to not just everyone, but to his children, you know, and his message. I was moved, because to know your father is so much loved and so great, and people don't really know the struggle that he went through growing up as a boy, growing up in Jamaica, and not coming from just coming from God himself, you know what I mean? Really, just, you know, just being that type of man, a lonely man growing up, you know. He was very lonely, you know, alone as far as his identity. So I was very touched in the beginning and right on through, you know. And then another great part to me is also when he was here in Germany, and then the nurse she talks about how kind he was and how gentle he is as a man, you know, even in his most vulnerable state, he still kept his dignity of who he is, you know, and his word that means so much to people. He is that, you know, and to really see that my father, I mean, just to really, I never saw that, I never experienced that. So to kind of see my father in that humanistic side and really to be who he say he is and who we thought he was as a man growing up. Cause I never heard the lady talk before, the nurse. I've never heard this. I never seen these parts of, you know, I never saw him walk in the snow and still just humble with himself, you know. So it was very, very moving for me.
How, from your point of view, how did you see, or how was this last moment in Miami? I think you have also been there.
No, I at the time I didn't have a passport, so so I was still in Jamaica. So my brother Ziggy and Stella and Steven and Robbie and, you know, they were there, and they just told me what, you know, they came back to, Steven came back to Jamaica and he told me what was happening, you know. He told me one thing, he did mention to me that when our father passed away, he told us not to cry, you know, because everything's going to be all right. So that was the main thing, because my first instinct when I saw Steven driving into Hope Road after my father passed away, I cried, you know, and Steven came and consoled me, and Ziggy, they hugged me and said, listen, Daddy said not to cry. So from that day, you know, but of course throughout the years you shed a couple of tears, you know, cause, you know, everyone wants to be with their dad, you know, everyone wants to, you know, have their dad around physically, but we have him spiritually.
Are you a rich man? Do you have a lot of possessions?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life.
Love, prosperity, be with us all. Jah, Rastafari.
But yeah, we all have a special relationship, because I grew up kind of rough too, and, you know, I was like my father, a rough son. So yeah, he's a very, very special relationship between myself and my father, and, you know, I respect him a lot and love him a lot, you know. And I just remember some of those times.
So when you reflect your persona, is there anything which makes you close to your father, or is there anything characteristic about you got from him?
Someone would have to tell you that. I couldn't tell you, you know, because someone would have to be on the outside looking in, you know what I mean? I'm inside looking out, so I can't really, unless I had a mirror. But of course, growing up as a child, you want to emulate your father, and because it's just the one you know, and every child should emulate their dad, you know. So hopefully you can see some characteristics of myself from my father, which is really great, you know. I think that would be good.
One thing which is very special about your family is this creative energy, because everybody is doing something creative.
Yeah.
So how do you see this second movie about what went on with the kids?
Well, right now I'm here also launching the House of Marley, which we have the sustainable headphones and the eco-friendly stuff that we've been working on for some time. We launched our charity organization, which is onelove.org. We also, you know, I'm the founder of Marley Coffee. Yeah. I started a farm in Jamaica where I produce and sell coffee, organic coffee. And we also have, you know, so a lot of things that we do, you know, as far as growing the movement, you know, and it's still the same principle, taking the ideas and creating, you know, it's like music, you know, you take the music and you create a CD. So we did that. I created headphones, I created coffee, which were the same principle, because at the end of the day, it's about helping people, and, you know, how do you help to benefit others, you know?
Do you have a favorite song of your father?
No, but I love them all, and I like the one that says "Especially Smile Jamaica," you know.
Okay, great, thank you.